Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 18th September 2021. Okay, let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, you can note them down first. First of all, what we'll do is let us take overview of all these articles where we'll understand the context of these articles as well as the relevance to our syllabus here. Different parts of mains examination and prelims examination syllabus. So first of all, mains related articles. On page number 6 there is one editorial which talks about the conflict between executive and judiciary over the appointments to the tribunals. Okay, so this is important from GS2 paper polity part, the different, let's say, points in terms of bone of contention, what this conflict is about, and the second part is analyzing that conflict and the way forward is mentioned. Okay, so this is important. Other articles are not that many relevant. Afghanistan issue that have been already discussed, not many new points are discussed in that article. Okay, yes. Then major restructuring of railways on anvil. So on page number 10, very important article, it talks about, let's say, recommendation of expert committee on reforms in Indian railway sector. Which are these reforms recommended by this committee of economic advisor, headed by economic advisor? Okay, so we will understand this. It is important from GS3 paper economy part. We are expecting questions from reforms in railway sector. Then Jai Shankar calls for early resolution of LAC issue. So there has been, let's say, bilateral meeting on the sidelines of SCO summit that was held recently in Dushanbe. Okay, so bilateral between, let's say, Ministry of External Affairs or Minister of External Affairs of both India and China. Right, so LAC issue was discussed along with Afghanistan was also the subject of discussion between two leaders here. So as a follow-up to this India-China LAC standoff GS2 paper IR section, we will have inputs here. Then Supreme Court Collegium on the mission mode to fill vacancies. On first page, it is talking about a new recommendation by the Collegium for the appointments of Chief Justices of different high courts. As well as the Collegium has also recommended many such transfers of judges of these high courts. Okay, so in last 1 month it is being said that around more than 100 such appointments have been suggested by the Collegium. So yes, the efficiency of Collegium has improved to some extent after appointment of new CJI in recent times. Yes, so this is important from, sorry, here it is wrongly mentioned GS-IR, it is not IR section, rather it is polity section. Okay, this is important from polity section, not IR section. Yes, for prelims examination, political change in Afghanistan not inclusive. Our Prime Minister in his address at SCO summit has said this. So yes, that is important, but more important is for our prelims examination, international organizations and regional forums like this Shanghai Corporation Cooperative Organization SCO. This is important, right? So IR section, earlier also we talked about BRICS as a regional forum, right? So here we will talk about SCO now. Then Global Methane Pledge, US and EU led such initiative to reduce the amount of methane gas in the atmosphere. We all know that methane is a significant greenhouse gas. Okay, so about methane gas also basic information from environment section. This can be asked in prelims examination. Okay, so then we will talk about the decisions of recent GST Council meeting that was held. So outcome of that meeting, what decisions were taken. This is as a follow-up to GS3 paper mains examination as well as prelims examination economy part. Okay, and finally some practice prelims MCQs on daily current affairs. So let us go into details of all these articles. So first on page number 6, editorial page, it is talking about the conflict between executive and judiciary over the tribunal appointments. The name of the article is Act and Friction. Let us understand what is this friction is about. In recent times, the points of friction between the executive and judiciary has been, first of all, recently the Parliament has enacted Tribunals Reforms Act. In this Tribunal Reforms Act, some of the provisions of the earlier ordinance that was promulgated by the government, which was struck down by the judiciary, the same points or the same provisions are re-enacted through this Tribunals Reforms Act. Okay, so that's why the judiciary is more furious about this. Same provisions cannot be re-enacted by the government, which have been already struck down by the judiciary. First thing. Second, Supreme Court questions executive over delay in filling up of vacancies. So this is also important concern. Recently, the Supreme Court, especially CJI, has been more vocal and assertive about, let's say, the delay in the vacancies in these tribunals. More than half of the positions in these tribunals have been vacant. Okay, so that's why the concern have been raised by the Supreme Court from time to time and more in recent times. Then third point is government cut short tenure of acting chairperson of National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, Justice Chima, by 10 days. In recent time, this has been the flashpoint between, let's say, judiciary and executive or the government. So Justice Chima was supposed to, let's say, retire from the, let's say, earlier tenure, and according to the new provisions of this Tribunals Reforms Act, basically the tenure was reduced by 10 days. So now Chief Justice of India asked the executive in one of the ruling that the tenure should not be reduced, and the government agreed to that. Okay, so basically these are the recent points of conflict over the tribunal appointments. You should understand now the analysis of this conflict. Yes, both often disagreed on eligibility criteria and the conditions of service, and series of judgments have gone against the government regarding tribunals appointments. We all know that through this Tribunal Reforms Act, the tenure, eligibility criteria, and conditions of service, this has been arbitrarily changed by the government, and the powers have been retained by the government in these regards. However, the judiciary has from time to time has said that the tenure should be fixed, eligibility criteria should be objective and transparent, and the conditions of service should be such that it should not undermine the independence of these judges while working in those tribunals. In this manner, the conflict is going on. Okay, so yes, we all know that the tribunals are very much important, especially for speedy justice. At the same time, we should understand the technical aspects or expertise that is required in certain domains, like for example, be it, let's say, corporate affairs or company related disputes, or be it related to we can say the economics related aspects are there. So expertise is required, and for that purpose many laws have let's say provisions related to establishment of such tribunals, wherein both administrative and judicial representation is there. So to some extent the executive, that is the government, has, let's say, more role to be played here in appointment, so as to have some kind of leverage over these personnel. Okay, so the independence of tribunals is at threat, and that's why judiciary from time to time intervene in this. Okay, and finally, yes, we should understand the way forward. Yes, so independent body, that is National Tribunals Commission, have been recommended by the Supreme Court from time to time in different judgments. You can mention this in your answer in mains examination. National Tribunals Commission for appointments to these tribunals in objective and independent manner without any influence of executive, and second, let's say, reviewing the working of tribunals, reviewing the working of tribunals. This is the important function that is to be let's say overlooked by National Tribunals Commission, we can say. Okay, so as a way forward, you can mention or give such recommendation of the Supreme Court here. So what kind of question we are expecting? The issue of tribunals has been the source of considerable friction between the government and the court. This is the statement in the article itself, and the same statement can be used as a question statement. You can answer this, discuss in the light of recent development. Which are the recent development? You can mention these three recent developments there, and then analyze this conflict. Okay, so try to answer these questions by yourself. Try to have practice at home. So you can answer this in 150 words at home for 10 marks. So write 1 page, 1.5 page at let's say whatever the discussion we have done and the additional knowledge you have. And yes, surely Ansari sir in ED lectures have already may have discussed about the tribunals issue here. Okay, this is important for those having public administration optional subject. Fine? Okay. Yes. Then major restructuring of railways on anvil. So the context of this article is recommendations of the principal economic advisor Sanjeev Sanyal for rationalization of government bodies and proposal for Ministry of Railways. Right. So some of the changes are recommended in railways or different government bodies that are working as a part of Indian Railways. Okay, so what are these reforms? We can say that these are organizational or institutional reforms, largely, not let's say specifically on the working of the railways on the ground and that efficiency. Rather, these are institutional reforms. What are these reforms? Let's say closing up of Central Organization for Railways Electrification, Central Organization for Modernization of Workshops, and Center for Railways Information Systems. Okay, so yes, this CRIS, Center for Railways Information System, is to be, let's say, its functioning is to be handed over to IRCTC. Okay, so Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation. At the same time, the functioning of RailTel is also to be merged with IRCTC. Right. So this is for telecom infrastructure of railway, RailTel. Then the other recommendations you can see here, Rail India Technical and Economic Service. Rail India Technical and Economic Service that exports rolling stock to take over the Braithwaite and Company Limited, which turned sick in 1992. So this is going to take over this company. Merger of Rail Vikas Nigam Limited with the Indian Railways Construction Limited, because both are having similar functions. Both are having similar functions related to infrastructure. At the same time, merger of railway schools with Kendriya Vidyalayas or handing them over with to the respective state governments. Okay, so this is being done because the railways are having different, let's say, technical functions, and running railway school is not the function of these officials. That's why the functioning of railway schools is being transferred. Establishing one central public sector enterprise to bring 8 production units under its fold. There are different production units spread throughout India, like the one which is there in Chennai or Rai Bareli. Coach factories are there, manufacturing factories. So all of these are to be coming under one central public sector enterprise that is to be established. Then merger of central training institutes, railway training institutes. At present there are many such training institutes for different services are there. So merging these training institutes with National Rail and Transportation Institute, NRTI. Okay, after upgrading latter, that is this institute, into Central University and an institute of national importance. These are the reforms recommended, and the government in future, in near future, may, let's say, execute these reforms here related to institutional reforms in the railways. Okay, try to understand, these are not infrastructure related or efficiency of railways related reforms, rather these are institutional reforms. Okay. Now, Jaishankar calls for early resolution of LAC issue. Yes, the leaders, let's say external ministers of India and China, they met on the sidelines of SCO summit in Dushanbe, Tajikistan, capital of Tajikistan, and they have agreed that let's say our external affairs minister has said that China must not view India through the lens of its ties with other countries. So indirectly he was referring to India's, let's say, growing ties with USA. So he was insisting that China should see its ties with India in an independent manner and not link with its relation with US. Okay, so yes, both agreed to have more talks by the military and diplomatic official to resolve the remaining issues of disengagement. And yes, they have, or our external affairs minister has said that Asian solidity dependent on example set by India-China relations. You can directly use this statement in your answers, GS2 paper. We are expecting this year itself mains examination question on India-China relations. Okay, so you can use Asian solidarity. Okay, such words can be used as a conclusion. In conclusion, directly you can say that our Ministry of External Affairs Minister has said like this. So this will be more effective. Fine? Yes. Now, Supreme Court Collegium on mission mode to fill vacancies. Yes. So in recent times, especially in last 1 month, the Collegium of Supreme Court has recommended over 100 judicial appointments, several transfers and elevation of judges. So in recent times, like 9 new judges were named for Supreme Court. Already they have taken oath. 8 High Court judges recommended for elevation as Chief Justices of High Courts. 5 High Court Chief Justices recommended for transfer. Okay, so recently, let's say recommendation of transfer of judges across 14 of 25 total high courts in the country. This is how the efficiency of the collegium has increased, especially when we can see that the new Chief Justice of India is more efficient in terms of, let's say, working of this collegium and bringing all the 4 judges that are working in the collegium on a, let's say, consensus building for recommendation of these names here. Okay, so you can use this in your mains related answers in polity section whenever we are talking about judicial appointments. Okay, so recommendation by the collegium in recent times, it has increased. It creates some kind of pressure on the executive to appoint them, transfer them. Okay, yes. Now we are talking about, let's say, political change in Afghanistan not inclusive. These are the, let's say, wordings of our Prime Minister in a speech at SCO summit. Let us understand the exact words. The first issue is that the change in the authority in Afghanistan was not inclusive, and this happened without negotiation. This raises question on the prospects of recognition of new system. Representation of all sections of Afghanistan, including women and minorities, is important. This is how our Prime Minister for the first time has talked about the situation in Afghanistan in any international or regional forum in more depth, we can say, okay, or more explicit manner. This is for the first time our Prime Minister is speaking in the international or let's say any regional forum on the Afghanistan issue. So about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. So earlier SCO was called as Shanghai 5. This Shanghai 5 was established in 1996. This can be asked in prelims examination. Remember which were these 5 countries? Let's say the 5 countries were the former Soviet republics, and let's say they had some kind of border with, let's say, China. Okay, so which were these countries? Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan. Okay, then Uzbekistan joined in 2001 and then it was renamed as SCO. It was renamed as SCO. So total 6 members were there when SCO was formed. Okay, and later on, in recent times, in 2013, okay, so sorry, in 2017, India and Pakistan became the members of SCO. Okay, in the same year, India and Pakistan got the membership of SCO. Okay, 2017. So at present, there are total 8 members then. Secretariat is in Beijing. Official languages Russian and Chinese. Official languages are Russian and Chinese. Remember the years, remember the headquarter, remember the members, and official language rarely UPSC will ask. Okay, this is important for prelims exam. Then Biden unveils plan to cut methane emissions. So yes, this initiative called as Global Methane Pledge. Remember this for prelims examination. Global Methane Pledge. This is the initiative of US and EU. Okay, initiative of US and EU to cut the methane emissions by the end of this decade, that is 2030. By the end of 2030, we have to reduce, or US and EU is going to reduce methane emissions by 1/3. This is good thing. So he was talking about, the announcement was made at the Major Economies Forum on Energy and Climate. This can be asked in the prelims examination. Okay, so Major Economies Forum on Energy and Climate, MEF. This was hosted by US. Now, basics about methane gas. UPSC has tendency to ask these greenhouse gases or major pollutants and their sources, their properties, characteristics. Okay, so about methane gas, basics about methane gas you should be aware. It is colorless, odorless, tasteless gas and lighter than air. Okay, colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. This we have learned in school level itself in chemistry. Yes, it is main constituent of natural gas and it burns in air with blue flame. With blue flame. So whenever there is complete combustion of methane, there will be blue flame when it is burning. Then it is also the most important greenhouse gas after CO2. Why we are saying that? Because it is more potent GHG than CO2, 80 times more potent than the carbon dioxide. Potency means the carbon, or we can say that greenhouse gas potential of that, or global warming potential of that greenhouse gas. Appropriate word is global warming potential of that greenhouse gas, and methane is having more such potential as compared to CO2. However, methane is less likely to remain in the atmosphere as compared to CO2. That is, lifespan or lifetime of atmospheric methane is shorter than CO2. Then it helps in formation of ground level ozone. Ground level ozone is harmful secondary air pollutant. Okay, we know that the stratospheric ozone is there and that is beneficial. It protects us from incoming high frequency, we can say ultraviolet rays. But ground level ozone, which is formed due to, let's say, mixing of various primary pollutants, and here the methane also contributes to that. formation of secondary air pollutant. Then which are the natural sources of this methane which contributes to 40% of the total emissions of this methane into the atmosphere? Yes, wetlands, oceans and digestive system of termites. Okay, this is problem. Then man-made sources, so around 60% of the total is emitted through the man-made sources like rice cultivation or paddy cultivation, one of the important source. Livestock, especially those ruminating cattles, you know ruminating process, right? So cattle eats that grass or whatever the fodder is there and then later on ruminates it. Through that rumination process, basically the methane is released into the atmosphere as well as through the excreta of the cattle or the livestock. Okay, so this contributes to 40%. Then burning of fossil fuel including biomass burning, so 35% is contribution of this one. Then waste, especially the dumps that are there or dumping sites are there in urban areas. So from that waste also the methane is released, and the wastewater treatment plants, from that also, you know, specific pungent smell we see whenever we pass along the let's say wastewater treatment plant or water treatment plant is there, right? So the methane is released through the chemical reactions in that treatment process. Okay, so in this manner you should remember all these sources now. Then finally, GST Council not for inclusion of petroleum products. Yes, we were expecting that petroleum products will be included in GST, but the decision was not taken here. So what decisions were taken here? Concessional tax rates on COVID-19 essential medicines like tocilizumab extended till 31st December. Okay, so concessional tax rates on the essential medicines extended. Then muscular atrophy drugs such as Zolgensma, then Viltepso, that cost around rupees 16 crore exempted from GST. This is also good thing. Then import of leased aircraft exempted from IGST. And yes, food delivery apps to collect GST instead of restaurants. This is now a significant change. Up till now the restaurants used to collect GST on the food delivery platforms like Zomato and Swiggy. You can see the bills also. Okay, so now food delivery apps will be collecting GST instead of restaurants. This is the change. Then tax on fortified rice kernels for ICDS scheme reduced from 18% to 5%. This is also important decision. Okay, so fortified rice, it is increased micronutrient levels. Micronutrients are important to reduce hidden hunger. Remember this, hidden hunger is about deficiency of micronutrients. It is about deficiency of micronutrients. And fortified rice, like we have golden rice is also there, or yes, that is we can say that genetically modified, but fortified rice, there are different, let's say, processes of fortification of food grains which adds new micronutrients, and that when these fortified food grains are provided through midday meal scheme or ICDS scheme, it improves the, let's say, nutrition status of children as well as pregnant and lactating mothers. Then GST on cancer drug Keytruda brought down from 12% to 5%. So significant changes are basically regarding different drugs as well as COVID-19 related essential drugs. And two important changes, one GST food delivery apps and this fortified rice. Okay, fine. Now what should be answer to this question? Try to attempt this question. Yes. Okay, so we are talking about methane gas here. We have learned about this just now. Yes, what should be answered?
Answer 1 and 3 is correct.
Okay, yes, 1 and 3. Yes, so methane gas, it is more potent greenhouse gas than the carbon dioxide. We have to find the correct statements, right? So yes, it is more potent. We have learned just now about this. Then it has more lifespan in the atmosphere as compared to carbon dioxide. This is incorrect, right? It has comparatively less lifespan. Then it is main constituent of natural gas. Yes, this is correct statement. Right. So what should be answered then? 1 and 3 only. That is C should be the correct answer. Right. So try to attempt such questions, and yes, you need to give attention to complete lecture of half an hour, or let's say 45 minutes, 40 minutes that we are doing here, and through that discussion simultaneously you should be noting down whatever the extra information that we are taking here. Okay, any question?
Recently they given order to fill all legal positions in the high courts now, sir. Is there any possible this motive will create the criminalization backgrounds of politics in further entry, sir? And present more than 55 to 60% is the criminal background in politics. It may have reduced and further may have chance to reduce to coming up politicians, sir.
That may happen. That is also cause of concern in near future. Whenever the appointments are being done, that is what the executive is trying to do. Take the leverage in those appointments and undermine the institutions or credibility of the institutions. Try to understand, and this has been the conflict for a long time. Okay, so that's why the judiciary is nudging executive continuously. Okay, and that's why the long pending reforms, national, let's say, appointment commission here regarding national tribunal commission. Okay, so that should be established. That will ensure the objective eligibility criteria, transparent appointment process, and we can say that the independence of those appointees will be ensured then. Okay.
Sir, can we expect in future, sir, some of the CM and central minister have been, they permanently went to jail, sir. Even up to death also, some of the ministry has been went to by the order of High Court and Supreme Court. Is that type of harsh laws on politician may occur in future, sir, by the appointment of these politicians, sir?
We cannot expect such kind of things. See, judiciary will not directly intervene unless and until पानी यहाँ तक पहुँचा है. ठीक है. So basically the judiciary will try to nudge, and whenever suppose let's say any provision is unconstitutional or goes against the previous judgment of Supreme Court, then judiciary will surely intervene. We are expecting judiciary to intervene that National Tribunal Act, because the same provisions are enacted. It is going to struck down those provisions in future. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay then. So let us stop. We will meet on Monday with the current affairs of both days. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.